So we have discussed about ERP and EMIS. Now let us discuss about some of the topics coming under this. So the first topic what we are going to discuss is materials and its production information. In that, let us discuss about the BOM, that is a bill of material. So when a bill of material is given, actually what information it includes is not a information regarding the environment. Actually the bill, in a bill it will include the, suppose, so you may be thinking why we are discussing this bill of material, because every vendor, suppose if he is a supplier for an enterprise, or when the product is manufactured, when it is sold by the customer or to the customer by some dealer or a shopkeeper, they will not give all the information regarding this hazard materials used. Okay, now it becomes essential for an enterprise to maintain such information. So in a bill of materials, if you take a bill of material, it will include what is the quantity. So here what information it will include, here it is mentioned. It will include weight of the component and information of the weight, the supplier type, the number, the dimension. For example, if you purchase one laptop, so they will not, in a bill they will not provide you what type of hazard materials are used, that they will not mention. Instead what they will mention, so what is a brand number, what is a make number, what is a what you can say is a serial number, which is a brand, such information you are getting. And physical properties like mass, percentage of hazard material components, and these things will be missing in the bill of material. So given the regulatory policies such as restriction of hazard substance, so what is that restriction of hazard substance? I want to just show it to you. Just look into this. This is ROHS and other regulatories you can see on this particular cover. So I have kept this cover to demonstrate it in the Green IT class only. So this is our yeah, it's made in China, don't blame me for that. So this is the tab what we have purchased, and for that they have to follow, or they have to go with this guideline of ROHS. So if they are not satisfied with means if this product is not having a ROHS or any other EC, PFC, whatever the regulations are there, if they are not following that, this product cannot be sold in Indian market. So some regulatories they are provided, and its information you can see as I have demonstrated it in the in front of the screen. So that is on the cover, means if you look into the box or over the box or inside that box, you will be getting all the details of the hazard materials what are used and what type of materials they are using. It's a LCD tab, so much of chemicals are used there. So this information you can get it into your packet of that particular device. You consider mobile or any device. Now this information you cannot find it on a bill or a bill of material what you are getting, and it is essential to follow the guidelines. And what are those what is see, we are discussing about ROHS from many classes, and you may be thinking, sir, what is ROHS, what is ROHS, what is meant by that? Okay, we will discuss about that one, because in the next chapter, that is, we are in the third chapter now. In the fourth chapter we will be discussing on that, what is exactly ROHS and how this protects, or this is responsible for protecting us from the hazard materials. So the name itself suggests restriction of hazard substances, correct? Okay, so how this is doing that, how this will be doing that, we will discuss. Next topic we will discuss about the process and workflow information. What is exactly process and what is workflow information? So actually the process flowcharts are part of ERP system, means in an enterprise, or it may be within the enterprise or it may be outside the enterprise, there will be a flowchart. If any production company is there, it has to go through many stages. So grinding, so if it is a mechanical oriented company, then they have to go with the some lathe machine work, the grinding, the casting, and so many tasks. So the process means when the product is manufactured, it has to go through different phases. That is called as a process. And from one process to another process, when it moves, a separate chart is maintained how it has to go. And for that there is a specific ISO standard, that is ISO 9000. You must have observed this. This is a quality standard or certified ISO certificate standard. So you can find this in many of the on the equipments. Okay, this is a ISO 9000, means it is certified with that particular process and workflow information, or process standards, what it has to follow, that it is followed. Actually this information may be used to describe the material and energy flow in the LCA. The work order, which is responsible for the flow of material, may also contain the relatively complete data set about the materials, components, required resources, and the job task order. So these informations are managed within the enterprise most of the time. Next, let us discuss about the supply chain information. Actually, these are what we are discussing. These are all part of EMIS and ERP. So there is another concept called as a supply chain information, which is mainly responsible for dealing with the transportation, the logistic information. That means which company is carrying the, for example, if you consider any example, if you supplies your manufactured product, so which logistic company will send the product, and what will be the route or a path through which it is sending, to which part it is sending. Similarly, when the supplier information is there, what is the location of the supplier, how they supply the things, what transportation efforts are made by the company, and what type of transportation methods they are using. Means sometimes they may bring it from the train, sometime from the it may be supplied from the trucks, or maybe from, if it is imported from the other countries, maybe from plane. So it depends. So method also is specified, and how these are distributed to the distribution to the company when they are in the inbound, and when they are outbound, how they are supplied to the distributors or sales sections or a salesperson. So these are all information we find it in supply chain information in ERP or EMIS system. So this is the third information what we are getting. Next comes the information about the waste. What type of information, this information include the type of quantity of waste and the product that generated the waste. Means once the product is manufactured, we know that the company also needs to maintain the waste information. And what is the logistic and procurement scheduling modules, this information also it can have. Then proper transportation planning will identify the weight, modes of transfer, the distance, the other information, and so on. And also it is essential to calculate the carbon footprint of the organization, so logistic functions. So that is also a very important factor. One interesting statement I want to make here. So I hope you must have seen in when it comes to the transportation. So railway or a train, if you consider, there is one train which carries some goods or lorries. So what it is doing, it is helping in two ways. One is two or three ways, or many ways you can say, and it is also supporting the environment. So I just took a note of that. So I want to share it with you. Now by carrying the goods or lorry onto the train, what happens is whatever the carbon emission done by those goods, that will be controlled, means that will be avoided. That is the first thing. Second thing, why these transportation companies they are going with this plan is because the amount or the petrol or a diesel charge also they will save, and wear and tear or what you say is depreciation of the or wear and tear of the vehicle also will be less. So if we think in a right direction, we can contribute in many ways to the environment. So that we have to understand.